Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Brian Woodward, broker owner of Remax Energy Real Estate here in Oklahoma. Today I want to talk about selling rural real estate, or if you're an owner or own rural real estate or looking to buy rural real estate, you might want to watch this video. And I'm going to say something really bold, and that's not every real estate agent should be allowed to sell rural property. You know, the fact is it takes a little bit. You've got to have some knowledge, you got to have some expertise. So if you hire the wrong agent, can cost you tens of thousands of dollars or even worse. You could sit on the market for months and never even sell. So today I'm going to break down exactly why rural real estate is different and what most agents completely miss. And also I'm going to go over how to make sure you hire the right person to sell your property. And before I get into it too deep, will you guys hit the like and subscribe button, especially if you're enjoying our content. We're trying to get these videos out more often and just be as helpful as we can to everybody. So first thing is, you know, if you own land, acreage, a farm, or even, you know, a home outside city limits, I'm making this video for you. So because rural real estate is a completely different animal. You know, I don't care if it's a farm, a house on 5 acres, a house on 1 acre. When you start getting rural and acreages, it's just a completely different animal and totally different than selling a home in a neighborhood. So selling a home in a neighborhood is pretty straightforward. You've got comps, you got standard utilities, easy buyers, you know, but man, when it comes to rural property, now you're dealing with surveys, septic systems, wells, acreage value, fencing, access to properties, easements, you know, property boundaries, mineral rights, you know, what are the uses for the properties. You know, when you come to rural properties, you're not going to find any two properties the same. So the biggest mistake I see sellers make is they hire an agent who only sells homes in town. You know, they price it wrong, they market it wrong, and the property just sits there. I mean, they just don't know how to price rural properties or to market rural properties. A good rural agent understands pricing per acre. They'll target the right buyers, you know, whether it's a hunting property, farmland, ranch land, horse or hobby farmers. You know, the thing is, you've got to know land features, you've got to know a little bit about some, you know, grazing pasture, different things like that. None of it's too complicated, but there is a lot to know. So, you know, and you know, you got to tell the story of the property. So buyers need to watch out for access issues, water problems, septic concerns, and then are there any restrictions on that property? You could be rural and still have some restrictions, so you want to make sure you can do what you want to do with the property. Choosing an agent who specializes in rural property and they understand land value and can confidently answer any of your questions. So you're looking for somebody with some experience on selling rural property. So this is something I've spent years doing. Rural real estate is one of the most misunderstood parts of our industry. So if you're thinking about selling your rural property, reach out. I'd be happy to help, because when it comes to rural real estate, it doesn't matter who you hire. So would love to have you reach out. Be glad to visit with you, get you with one of our team members who specialize in rural properties, and they take great care of you. So, and hey, don't forget what Will Rogers says: buy land they aren't making anymore. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Thank you.